Hey guys, this is Pastor John coming to you for the Inverted Podcast, episode number 10, entitled Trusting God When It Doesn't Make Sense. And my friends here are Jarod and Sam. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What do you do here?
Oh, yeah, I'm Jarod. I'm the kids pastor here. I get to help with men's ministry too. It's great honor to be a part of this cool staff here at TRC. I'm not just saying that because you're here, but I really mean it. From Nebraska originally, so go Cornhuskers. But yeah, we have 4 kids. This is my wife, Samantha, and I'll let her take over.
I'm Samantha Osmotherly. I grew up in Nebraska. I'm essentially a happy kids pastor wife, so I help him with whatever tasks need to be done. Was in a role as HR and just transitioned to a new role where I'm doing my own business, life coach business. So that's it.
And that's where we jump in. But before we say that, before we move forward in that, what I love about you guys is y'all do ministry together. It's not just Jarod or just Sam. Y'all do it together. And that's something that Christy and I have always enjoyed. And we've never really understood when couples are separated in ministry. So you're such a joy to us in that. But today, jumping off that last sentence that you said, moving from one job to another, that's what really got me. It says in faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. And then it says in Hebrews 11:2, through their faith, the people in days of old learned or had a good reputation. And you guys are in the middle of this faith walk, right? Faith is, some say it's sitting in a chair, not knowing if the chair will hold you. Faith is falling backwards, hoping someone will catch you. But y'all have taken a step of faith. And I want to start with these questions because you guys encourage me greatly in how you do this, because what you do and what you have done is you've taken a concept of Christianity, faith, and lived it out in the tangibles today. And that blesses me. That gives me hope. That encourages me when the skies are dark and gray. So I want to thank you. So question number 1, what was this faith step that you were led to take? And either one of you talk and respond, and we'll go from there. So what was this faith step?
I'll let you answer first.
Well, I was really thinking about this a lot this morning, and it wasn't just the most recent decision. It's been a lot of decisions that we've made. But the most recent decision was just realizing that I wanted to be able to do more.
Right.
So I had some impact on a group of people, but I kept seeing the same problems over and over again.
Right.
And I felt like God was leading me to be able to be in a position to help them, prevent them from getting into relationship crises or drug abuse or suicidal thoughts. And right. I kept seeing the same recurring thing, and I could only do so much.
Yes. And so when you were watching her, Jarod, when you're watching Sam process through this, what did that look like from your perspective?
From my perspective, it was hard to watch her. Like, she would come home pretty stressed out a lot. She'd carry a lot of weight on her shoulders with her position. So, you get frustrated. You see her frustrated. You get a little frustrated. But it's definitely a lot of prayer, like understanding, like seeing what she's going through and seeing what these folks are going through. And it was good to see her to take this leap of faith.
So it's because guys are fixers, right? Yeah, she comes home with an issue, and you want to fix it.
This conversation. Were you there?
No, I wasn't. Just I've seen it a couple of times in my own life. Yeah. So that was frustrating because you kind of wanted to help her, but it was kind of a step she needed to take by herself as well, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And did you want her to take the step?
I did.
Because it was unique, right? It brings a new dimension to your world of living.
It does, and you always think of the money issue.
Right.
I mean, that thing's going through the back of your head all the time because you're like, how are we going to be able to pay the bills and stuff like that? But it's all like, it's sometimes you have that thing of you either have time or you have money, and we weren't seeing a lot of family time because it was constant. It was 24/7 job, and but yeah, it's that time or money issue.
Yes.
I don't know.
And what was the process? What did it look like? Did you something came up on Tuesday, and so on Wednesday you took the step? How long does this faith step? How long did it take? Were there moments that you were ready to do it, and then you're like, no, I can't do it. There's fear. Yeah. Was it sloppy, messy,
or was it
okay?
Messy.
Share.
Yes.
How was it?
So I guess it was definitely a journey to where I get frustrated and only be able to do so much, and then I think like I need to do something different, but I didn't know what that looked like yet. Right. And then I stumbled across just the life coach definition and what that could be and how it could be an impact, and then it was like a light bulb turned on. I was like, oh, that could be it. That might be what I want to do. I always joke about like I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, and then I was like, that might be what I want to do. And like little bit by little bit, I was just starting to investigate, talking to Jarod, and we were talking about it and looking at the budget and figuring out how could we make it happen. And then I was like, no, I can't. I just can't. And then one day, I got a phone call saying that, hey, I need to get your perspective of what you're going to be doing for this next year, and I need to know today. And I was like, oh.
So here comes Wednesday. God created a Wednesday from your Tuesday, right?
Exactly. And it was one of those just gentle God nudges that was like, I can't hide from this person what my feelings are and how frustrated I was in that scenario. And so that was the nudge I needed. And I just went ahead and let them know this was going to be my journey. I'm going to be leaving the company and going to be doing something different.
Did you know she was going to do it? Did you think she was going to take the step?
I did. I could see the buildup. We were talking quite a bit back and forth throughout the process, and I didn't know that exact day, but yeah, it didn't come to a big surprise.
So when she finally made that step, do you remember how you felt that day? Was it like, did you take the bag from the airplane and the oxygen dropped and you had to put it on yourself? You're like, oh my gosh, this is happening.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I think maybe it was kind of like a death almost, where it's all like you have a few different feelings. You're like, I don't think she really did that, and I don't know if she should have done that. But I think deep down it was like, it was good.
And your immediate response was supportive. Like you were immediately, I think you'd already processed, like, I think this is actually going to happen. So when you responded to me, you're like, all right, let's do this.
Right.
So, I look good on the outside.
Oh, well.
Calm and collected.
Yes.
Which is what I needed.
But this is loaded because it brought you here. This job brought you here. So it's not just like, hey, I lived in Steveville my entire life, but this job brought you here. So there were things attached to it, right? Yeah. So what does this mean now? What's the next step? Did you go through that?
Absolutely. Well, and that's part of what I was thinking about. Like just the journey to get to Stephenville was a leap of faith in itself. Like the craziest things happened when we were trying to move. Like both of our cars broke down. I had to go to the sheriff's office twice. I had to give my statement like within a month of working, and ended up with a flat tire at the police station. And it was just one of those moments I had to sit down and be like, whoa, this is comical. Like everything was going so chaotic. But it truly felt like God was leading us to be in Stephenville, to be in this area around these people. And like these people are our family now.
Yeah, absolutely. I woke up, what was it? I guess it was Monday, Monday morning, and one of your girls was on our couch, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Sleepover.
So in taking this step, was there a noticeable change in her life right away? I mean, the reaction, response?
Yeah, there was. At first, I was all like, well, maybe there'll just be a little honeymoon phase, which is still pretty current. But no, there's a lot more joy. You could see there's purpose in her a little more. I mean, like, not that wasn't happening before,
right?
But it definitely, you could see the weight come off a lot, and it's a lot stress-free. And it's not stress-free, but...
different kind of stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you feel something right away when you took that step?
Oh, immediately I was fearful. To be totally honest, I was like, "Oh, did I just do that?"
Right.
But then it wasn't as immediate as I thought it would be. It was one of those, I knew it would take some time to process. And even after I left that to start my new journey, it was about a month until I finally was like, okay, I'm really doing this. This is my journey. This is my company. I own this. So it took a while. It wasn't instant.
So now you're on this side of it.
Mm-hmm.
How are you still walking through faith or by faith as a family? More ramen noodles? I mean, what are you doing at this point? What does faith look like on this other side? Because there's a thought out there that if we walk by faith and you do this, then, hey, you know what? Even though you may or may not play the lotto, you're just going to open your mailbox and there'll be $1 billion in there, right? I guess that hasn't happened yet, has it?
No.
Okay.
No.
So what does faith look like on this side of the decision?
I know for me, it's being open to whatever God leads us to. And it's a lot of prayer. It's still waking up in the mornings and being like, what have I done?
Is that Jarod asking you? Or is that okay? That's the Holy Spirit of Jarod? No. That's what I would do, Jarod. I would be like, I would want to be nice, but then if she forgot to do something, maybe I would probably go off on that, right? In a subtle way, but I'm sorry. So you're waking up and realizing it's like,
yeah, a little bit of panic in the morning, but then praying about it and just realizing I need God to lead me into whatever next path is. I think patience is the biggest word that I guess I've heard the last few months of like, be patient, give it time. Right. It's in God's timing, not Sam's timing. Because I want it to be instant. I want it to be like, all right, I'm busy with clients. I'm busy with helping people. And I've got to be patient.
That's good. How about for you?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about, Hebrews 11. Just talks about the people of the past, and it talks about like Noah and Abraham and all those guys. It didn't happen overnight. And it says, I think it was verse 13, how some of them didn't even see it. Right. And I mean, it's that obedience factor where it's like, just stay obedient. And even if we don't see like huge fruits, I mean, if we're loving people, I think it's changing people's lives. And I think hopefully we can lead people to Jesus through this leap of faith.
I remember in Haiti, living in Haiti, what I miss most about Haiti is everything had to be done by faith. Nothing made sense in that country. So if you're leaving your gate in a truck, we're praying. If the workers that worked for us, when they went home, they would always say, si bon Dieu veut, if God wills. And they really meant that. It wasn't just something that was special to that moment or trying to impress a pastor. For those folks that may be listening to this podcast and are going through something similar and have not taken this step, what would you encourage them? As the person that took the step, but also as the support in the step. So how would you encourage them in their faith step?
I would just say that be prayerful and be open to God's timing. I know there was a lot of times when I just wanted to be like, okay, I'm done. I'm moving on, even though I have no idea what I'm going to do next. Like I needed to be patient, and I was very grateful that I was patient in that and just kept praying. Because then it really was just like a light bulb turned on. Like, that's my next step, what I want to do. So
I meant to ask this just a second ago. Did you ever find yourself picking up the phone, calling your place of work, asking for your job back?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Just you can erase that part maybe where she doesn't give her an idea, right? I probably would. I'd probably text people. It's like, okay, because I know for a while it was said that they hadn't found anyone to replace you. So as Jarod has said a million times, you're irreplaceable, right, Jarod? That's what he said.
Thank you, John.
And you're welcome. But how about how would you encourage maybe a spouse, a friend, whoever is beside that individual?
Yeah, definitely a lot of listening. Listen to them, support them. Sometimes be the voice of reason. I mean, reality does set in. you do think about money. Unfortunately, we do have to think about money. It's just helping out there, but definitely hearing their feelings and their thoughts, and just walking alongside them, whether it's seeing just their goals or what they really want, and also praying with them. I mean, I think sometimes we can forget to pray for our spouses and stuff like that.
Yes.
But like really sitting down and praying with them, not just for them, but alongside with them. And it's cool what the power of prayer can do.
Absolutely. Last words. Y'all have the last words for that. So that person out there, wherever they're at, any last words you would give them on this faith journey?
Last words, I guess, would just be to be faithful, and be patient. Like those are, I know I already said that,
No,
but
that's okay.
They're the most important pieces of it, I think, through your life journey. You might find yourself in some really, really sticky situations or hard situations and feel like it's time to just throw in the towel. But being patient and praying is so, so important, just because that's God's voice.
Right.
It's a way to find his voice.
Jarod?
Yeah. I'd say sometimes obedience, faith is staying in that job. If it's, I mean, there are people that are affected by you, and like where God has you,
Right.
Be good stewards of that. But listen to him, and just keep listening and see what he has for you. Sometimes we don't get that burning bush that tells us where to go.
Right.
But we do have scripture, and we do have influences outside of us too when we're in a tight-knit community in our body of Christ.
Yes.
I mean, we have wise people telling us wise things. So I say just keep listening.
That's good. That's good. And again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate how you live out your faith in a tangible faith people can touch and see. And again, it brings me hope because you don't see a lot of faith steps in a first world country because you always have backup plans, right? I mean, and so you guys have been super encouraging to Christy and I in this step. Maybe possibly that we're able to see it without having to do it ourselves. Maybe I'm selfish in that, but I do appreciate you guys. If you ever want to reach out to Jarod or Sam, it's Jarod at timberridgechurch.com. If you have more questions. Sam, yours is kind of strange. Like, what's your email?
Oh, I've got two. You can
Okay.
do samantha.osmotherly@gmail.com,
Okay.
which is a lot easier, except for our last name is weird.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Or lightupyourpathcoaching@gmail.com.
All right.
Either one.
Well, again, I thank you. Thank you again for the example you are. Thank you for joining us. And we're just excited to be able to not only see people that are living out this faith, but also be a part of their journey too.